Right, hello and welcome to a brand new season of ALR. We are currently doing the evaluation races for the following season, and we have quite a few talented drivers in this lobby. So we've already had one evaluation race that was on Tuesday. We've got three more tonight. This one has 5 of the top 10 drivers in the league. So let's run through them quickly, and then we'll go through everyone else. So I'm doing this up based on ALR rankings because we have so many drivers from different tiers from last season. We have Joe, who is in 4th place, but he's not in the lobby yet, I don't think. Oh, no, there he is. So he's favourite for pole and favourite for the win in my book. We also have Alu Palu, who won the Constructors in Tier 1 last season. And we have BR4, who's been in Tier 1 for ages now. Also got Ishta, who's been showing some really good pace, solidly Tier 1 for the last few seasons as well. And we've got our Tier 2 champion, who really should be in Tier 1, but he doesn't race on the same days, and that's Jacko Lacko. Very convincing champion in Tier 2 last season. So those 5, I would say, would be my favourites to at least qualify in the top 5. But it is a new game, and we simply don't know how quickly they've adapted. There's a lot of other drivers here who've shown some good pace so far in the new game as well. Let's run through them. So we've got Abmo and Reaper. These two were teammates last season in Tier 4. So just to give you a bit of... just bear with me. I hope that you guys can see my screen clearly because it's not showing clear on mine, but let me know. Anyway, yeah, going through the drivers as well. So yeah, we got Abmo and Reaper, quite an experienced duo, but they were Tier 4. So let's see if they've managed to improve on their pace. Cunningfern was also Tier 4. JP has joined F1. He races in our GT leagues in ALR, so it'll be interesting to see how he adapts. CI it was in Tier 5 last season, so it'll be interesting to see if he can keep up. And Joker was in Tier 5 as well, so they are the underdogs for the day. Italiano Rigo was in Tier 3, but really showed some good pace towards the end of last game. Tier 1 pace, I would say. So it'll be interesting to see if he could trouble the top 5 today. Luke was really high up in Tier 4 at the end. Probably had more pace than what tier he was in, to be honest. And Basket is our last driver that we've got at the moment before we start. 14th driver. He is quite fast as well. Had a lot of retirements last season, so it'll be interesting to see if he can iron out those mistakes. What I'm expecting today is a lot of spins. It seems really tricky, especially in the new game, to get any like consistent times. So if any of these drivers can do a full 50% race without spinning, then hats off to them, because I currently can't. I find it very difficult to adapt to this new game. But I am using the wheel for the first time with no traction control, so that's probably got a lot to do with it. But I'll be doing my evaluation on Sunday, so you'll be able to see me spin plenty of times then, I'm sure. Right, everyone's readying up now. It looks like we're going to head off to qualifying. So just some ground rules. So short qualifying is in effect. It's going to be sunny for the qualifying and the race with safety car and damage switched off, because this is an evaluation. We need to see what people's pace is like. So if they have 1 or 2 spins but show good pace for the rest of the race, they still have a good chance of being placed in a high tier, because it's just a couple of mistakes that we expect to iron out as people get a bit more experience with the game. Also, every driver is expected to start on softs so that we can get a good measure of how people do on a full set, on a full tank, on the same tires. Let me just set up my spectator menu. So I'm going to do qualifying on board with people because I like to see the lines that they take to see if they are successful. Everyone will be doing qualifying on softs only as well because of the way that it's set up around here, so there's no need for the tyres. Telemetry, let's have the telemetry on. Be good to see how people take the corners. Data, yes. Track map, full track. So it looks like Italiano is the first one out, so let's follow him for a while. Hide the menu. So we've got 15 drivers in the end. We have one more driver, Hallinan, who I didn't talk about. He's brand new. Him and JP are the only two that have never raced in F1 in this league before, so complete unknown quantities. Be interested to see if they can trouble the more experienced guys, because everyone else has, I think, apart from maybe Joker, everyone has multiple seasons in ALR. So it'll really be a battle between the novices and the rookies. Right, let's have a look at Italiano and really dissect this qualifying lap. No pressure. He was known in Tier 3 as being quite a qualifying merchant. He got multiple pole positions last season. Bit wide out the last corner. Compromising a little bit. He might have lost half a tenth there coming up to the first corner. He does go up into 8th gear to take this turn. Quite a lot of people stay in 7th because it's easier to slow down. Good exit. And there's already a yellow flag for one of the Red Bulls, maybe? Oh, it's gone now. So, 30.3 for Sector 1. Yeah, plenty of curb. This is the best thing about the new game. You can take so much curb without worrying about spinning. All the way down into 3rd for that corner. I take that in a much higher gear. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to learn a lot, actually, just by watching these qualifying laps. All the way down to 4th, I'd take that corner in 5th. It just seems to flow a little bit better. And this is full throttle, you don't lift off at all. Try and take as much curve as possible to minimize. Okay. All the way down to 1st for that, okay. Bit slow out of that last corner. Okay, 44.5. And Reaper will be the next to cross the line at 45.3. Jacko, 45.8. Let's join Luke, who's just about to come over as a few more drivers cross the start line. Alu Palu goes 2nd, and Luke goes into 4th. Ishtar gets pole position at the moment. Not a surprise after some of the time trial times I've been seeing from him at all. And Cunningfern slots into 7th there. Let's see who else is about to come across. CI. Ninth place for the last season's Tier 5 driver. And Basket. 9th place as well. And I think Joker's the last for a little bit. Oh no, he's starting his lap. Let's join Greenwood. He looks like he's about to finish his lap. I missed BR4 getting pole as well there, apologies. By half a second as well. So JP slots in last place at the moment. So Joker's, oh, I was going to say Joker was on a lap. We were going to join him for the rest of it, but unfortunately he's spun. Let's join Joe, he's on an out lap. Everyone else will be on an in lap, so we might as well join Joe. Like I said, he's the highest ranked driver in this lobby, so I'm expecting a very good time out of him. Was my teammate last year in Sprint, and he won Sprint League as well. He's the current Sprint League champion. So he can perform in a good car, he can perform in a bad car, very consistent. We've also got Admiral behind him on his out lap to do his first time. So just a quick rundown of the standings, and 4 of the top 5 are exactly who I expected. BR4 pole, Ishta second, and ALR in 4th. With Rigor getting in the mix as well, quite impressive. They're the only ones below a 45. I think that everyone on a 45 has a lot of scope to improve, especially Reaper can get a bit faster than that. Jacko can definitely get a bit faster than that. Basket, he must have had a problem on his lap because the 46 is quite slow for him. Okay, let's watch Joe. Let's see, it'll be good to compare how he and Rico tackle these. So he goes up to 8th for turn 1 as well, so that must be the right thing to do. And then he comes out in 4th. Joker with a 221 after his spin. Takes Eau Rouge easily flat out. Misses the apex on the inside though. Will have cost him maybe a 10th. Down to 5th. Plenty of curb, both corners there, exactly what you need, and this one. You have to be careful on the exit not to spin there though. Down to 4th. Rigo went down to 3rd there, so yeah, plenty of curb there. So much more curb you can take in this game. Much more realistic for Spa as well. Using all the track around this corner. There's a yellow flag for an Aston Martin. I'm guessing that's Joker again. Not having a good time today. Yep, he's the only Aston. He takes this corner in 5th as well. He's hitting plenty of apexes. This is going to be a fast time. But can it get pole? There's a huge gap between BR4 and Ishta, so it could be a P2 for now. Stays in 3rd for both those corners. That's interesting. Rigo went to 1st for that final corner. 2nd. Less than 2 tenths off, not a bad result. I think he'll be fairly happy with that. I think he'll know where he lost that 10th and a half as well, just at Eau Rouge. Okay, let's see what Avmo's doing. Approaching the line. First lap, P7. Pretty good. About half a second behind his old teammate Reaper. Now, Rigo is on his 2nd hot lap. He's timed it well. We get to follow him plenty of times here. Just for reference, he was a full 2nd behind Joe. Oh, embarrassing, mate. Unlucky. Back to the pits. You've got time for one more. Let's follow Reaper for a bit. Up Eau Rouge. He's got traffic in front of him. Who is that? It's a Red Bull. It's probably Luke. If it is, then he's got... Yeah, it is Luke. He might have his time compromised here because he didn't give enough space. Well, let's see how they do at the end of the lap. Let's follow BR4, who's also on a lap, since he's our provisional pole sitter. Not as much curb on that corner. Don't know if that was intentional or not. So he goes down to 4th. Joe stayed in 5th for that corner. Oh no, he's not going to improve like that, and straight in the pits he goes. What about Ishtar? We didn't follow Ishtar much last time. Let's see how he does. Can he trouble the front row? He needs to find at least 3 tenths. Stays. Not sure about that gear selection for that corner. But he is in the 43s, so I trust him. But I feel like he lost a bit of time by doing that. He goes down to 3rd as well. Whereas Joe stayed in 5th, BR4 went to 4th. Hallinan sets his first time and goes up into 12th. That was good, hit the apex there well. Now, how quickly can he get... Oh, bit wobbly out the final corner. Doesn't improve his position. He does improve his time though by about a 10th. Probably would have got a P2 if he'd have improved his position. Let's look at Alupalu. He's currently fallen behind Reaper, who set a decent time despite being behind Luke. So P6 for a tier 1 driver. We'd expect a little bit better. Jacko Laco's managed to improve to 7th as well, the tier 2 champion from last season. It's all about this final corner. How you take it and how quickly you can get on full throttle without spinning. See how much he's upshifting there. That might be a good idea to try, actually. He gets into P4. Pretty decent lap. 9 tenths behind BR4, so plenty of time for Alu to try and catch up with, because they were pretty much neck and neck. Alu had a better season than BR4 last time out as well. So, who else is on a lap? Is Basket's on a lap? No, he's invalidated. Hallinan, is he setting another one? He's got 6% ERS, so I doubt it. I doubt he'd improve anyway. Let's see. Nope, in the pits. Let's have a look at Joker. He's just starting his lap. Hopefully he doesn't spin. This is where he spun last time. Really lifting off a lot up Radion. That's a lack of confidence from last time out. I don't blame him. But you are going to lose a lot of time over this very long straight. Down to 4th of that corner. Just breaks far too much compared to the other drivers that we've been watching. If he'd have touched that curb on the last game, he would have spun. Quite wide. Wide again. Plenty of curb there. Quite a good final corner. and this will put him up into 13th. Well done. Okay, now let's look at Italiano. Again, the first one out, so this will be his last lap. He's in P5 at the moment, behind the 4 Tier 1 drivers. Oh, no! Oh, unlucky, man. I just don't think it's going to be Italiano's day. He's for sure going to lose out to 1 or 2 more drivers here. What about Abmo? He looks... Oh, he's invalidated. Joker is on the grass. So nobody is yet on a fast lap, apart from maybe Cunningford. Ooh. He's pulled over. He's going to do another lap, I think. Abmo is retired. He's done for the day. So, who's next to start that lap? Is it going to be BR4? No. Rigo's going to do another lap. And he's still the first driver. Okay, let's have a look then. 4th time lucky? Let's see. Hopefully his tyres aren't too hot from the spin still. He's had time to cool it off. Some of these drivers might not cross the line in time. Very careful around that corner. You can take it a lot more aggressively, but he's trying not to spin now, so I don't blame him. Oh, mate. I feel bad for catching every single one of these. Let's look at Basket. He was just behind him. There's Italiano. So Basket is P8 at the moment. But there's 6/10 he has to find in order to catch one position. And he needs a second to move up substantially, basically. Well, he hit the apexes. Good start. P7. He manages to get a place. Next across the line is Jacko, who moves up to P5. It's ahead of Italiano, that's where he'll finish. CI has managed to get P13. Let's have a look at BR4. Does he manage to improve his time? Luke gets P10. Italiano's qualifying is finished in P6. BR4 is actually invalidated this time. Let's ride on board with Joe, his closest rival, who hasn't invalidated. I'll just keep an eye on all of the times as they come in. Hallinan gets P12. Reaper manages to get above Jacko. Very good result, Reaper. Well done. Basket P8. Oh, almost a spin there for Joe, but he manages to control it. Ishta gets P2 ahead of Joe. And Alu gets P4. So we have BR4, Ishta, Joe, and Alu, the Tier 1 drivers, in the top 4. We've got Reaper, and then Tier 2 champion Jacko Lacko, Italian Rigo, Basket, Abmo, and Luke. They were who I was predicting would be in the top 10, to be honest, based on pace from last season, but the order of the top 10, quite different. Right, let's get all of these times on the stream. So 3.6 seconds separates everybody. 1 second separates the top 5, 6 pretty much. But look how close it is between the top 3. BR4, 43.3. Ishtar, 43.4. Joe, 43.5. So it'll be a very close race between those 3, as long as they don't spin. Rigo could be in tier 1 with a clean lap. Well, he could have easily been tier 1 last season. So he does have the potential, he does have the pace if he can get on top of his spinning, but I'm not going to lie, that was a bit of a messy qualifying for him, just one clean lap. But maybe he was just pushing so hard because he knew the talent that he was up against, and he'll be a bit more careful in the race and get a good result. So I think that we're still going to do a formation lap for these because it is an evaluation race. We are going to be doing the grid slots as well, the new feature where you have to drive into your own grid slot. So if you fail, you can be up to 5.5 meters behind your grid slot, which is quite a big penalty. Yeah, formation lap, thank God. So let's have a quick look. Yeah, we don't want TV pod. Let's make sure everyone... So we've got 4 drivers on mediums. Oh man. Jacko, Basket, Abmo, and Joker are starting on mediums when they shouldn't be. But hopefully they pit straight away. But let's keep the tyres on for now. Telemetry enabled. Yep. Track data enabled. Yeah, I like Interval Gap. Full track map. So quite interesting. So the 2 tier 5 drivers from last season were 14th and 15th. And then it was the 2 newbies. And it was 3 tier 4 drivers. 2 tier 3 drivers, tier 2, tier 4, and then all tier 1. So the only one that's really out of place compared to last season, or the placements from last season, is Reaper, which I think is testimony to just how much he's sweated this game since it came out. He got it on pre-release and is, I think it's consumed his life. But fair enough. I wish I had the time to do that as well. Maybe I'll be a bit quicker. So far in all the evaluation races, pole time's been separated by 1.5 tenths. Wow. I'll have to see who got pole in the other evaluation races, because I wonder if it'll be anyone who wasn't in tier 1 last season. Oh yes, of course. Bloodwave got pole position on Tuesday, didn't he? I think safe to say he'll be in tier 1. Reaper and Jacko have reset to track. They're going to have nice cold tyres for the start, especially Jacko on mediums, which he's not meant to be on. I did warn them in the chat as well, but what can you do? People don't read. Okay, let's go back to BR4 for the start here. Also, when you get disqualified, you do get put 5.5 meters behind your starting grid. So that little collision does affect both of them, even though it's probably just one of their faults. And Joker was disqualified from this whole session. Or just from the formation lap? Formation lap, okay. Strange camera type. What is this? Okay. Ishtar gets what looks like is a better start. I can't really tell. Too wide in turn 1, but BR4 has the inside line, and Joe is going to challenge Ishtar up to Eau Rouge. And he gets past him. Alu lurking in the background, but it looks like Joe is really teeing up BR4 nicely here. He's really close. He's got the slipstream already. Going for a move around the outside. Ishtar's lagging all over the place. Oh, is he going to hold it? BR4's still got the inside. Just enough room. This is what Tier 1 racing looks like, guys. Very, very close racing. And clean. So, everyone's still going. Everyone seems to not have made a mistake because everyone's still within 1 second of each other. Alu has now got ahead of Ishtar. I don't know what happened there with Ish. I think it's to do with the lagging. He's ghosting in and out of people. Right, let's see what these intervals are looking like. Joe's only 2 tenths behind now. So is he not using any ERS though? This is all slipstream. Is he going to have a go down here at the bus stop? He is. Oh, very aggressive but fair. Left enough room. Got pushed out wide. And now it's a drag race to turn 1. 1/10 in it. Alu's just lurking, waiting for an opportunity to strike. And Ishtar's over a second behind now, so he's out of DRS range unless he has a good few corners to get himself back in before lap 3 starts. So Joe's going to have the DRS, not the DRS, the slipstream up to this corner once again. He's not using any of his ERS. Definitely saving it for next lap if he needs it. Because if he takes the lead now, he'll definitely need it next lap because BR4 is not going to fall over a second behind. Something's happened to Abmo. He's 19 seconds behind now. Oh, he'll have pitted for the softs. Good man, good man. The other 3 haven't. So already a 3-second time penalty for Alu on lap 2. Oh, it's going to be a long day for you, mate. So anyone close. Italiano's really close to Jacko. Jacko's on mediums, Italiano's on the softs, so he should be all over the back of him. Especially since I would say, based on my knowledge of them both, they are quite evenly matched. Basket's having a good battle with Cunningfern here. Oh no, Cunningfern's just dropping back. Oh, he's in the wall. It's unfortunate. Right, let's join these guys because we're getting towards the end of the second lap, which means DRS is about to be activated. BR4 managed to get up to 7/10 as well. Joe's used a little bit of ERS there because he's down to 68. And he's just above a second ahead of Alu. So Alu's got a bit of work to do if he wants to get DRS. It's just challenging Alu as well. So let's see what Joe can do and then we'll join that battle as well. Very close. Let's see. It's going to be quite an easy move, I think. Yeah. What about Joe? Is he going to do it? No. Biding his time. Anyone further down using RS? No. Paladin's having a good race so far. He's managed to get himself up into 7th, the newcomer. Getting himself past a few experienced heads here as well. CI. Oh, Joker's span. Span on the medians as well, just point that out. It's easier to spin on the medians. So, there's some gaps forming now. But the top 6, I would say, are all pretty close together still. if we're thinking about strategy, which we shouldn't be because it's the evaluation race, things are looking quite good for Jacko because he's not too far behind. But what he really wants to do is get himself into DRS zone, but he needs to find 4/10. Reaper is very close to Alu here. Something happened to Italiano as well. He's gone down to 13th. He must have spun. So Reaper's going to have DRS here and Alu isn't. Just going to tee him up for the next corner. Let's join Joe, see if he's going to line up a move. He's 7/10 behind, so it's probably not going to be on this lap that he overtakes BR4. But maybe he's just happy to sit behind. Save his ERS. He's got 60%. BR4's got 56. He's not going to use it, so he's not going to try and get past here. What about Reaper? Yeah. Easy move. Up into P4. And Alu, who was in 3rd on lap 2, is in 5th on lap 5. What can Italiano do? He's chasing Joker, who he does have a pace advantage over. Using plenty of ERS here to get the move done on the grass. Didn't need to do that. Quite an easy move. Don't think Joker's fighting too hard. Hallen is still running strong in 7th. Is Alu going to be able to stick to the back of Reaper and try and get a move next lap? Excuse me. What about CI as well? Let's join this little midfield battle. So Luke was one of our faster guys in tier 4. He was in higher tiers during the previous game as well. But he's not having the best time of trying to get away from CI right here. Right, Joe's catching up to BR4. Let's rejoin that. So back on the pit straight. He's 2/10 closer than he was last lap. 4/10 closer than he was last lap. See, he could pass him if he decided to use all of his ERS. He could close right up into Eau Rouge, and then by the time the DRS opened, BR4 would have no hope. But he's not doing that. He's playing the long game. Or is he? BR4's deciding to go with defensive there. They've got the same amount of ERS, so... Let's see what Alu's up to. Still managing to stay with Reaper, who's managed to get himself a penalty as well. Alu doesn't have much ERS left though, so I wonder if he's using it to try and stay within a second. So, what's happening with Joker? He's dropped to the back now. Unfortunate, mate. I should have kept a spin counter for this race. I think we must be on, I don't know, we had at least 4 for Rigo so far, if you include qualifying. Who is lining up a move on JP, another driver he should have an easy pace advantage over. Alu's pitted on lap 5, okay. Well, lap 4 for him. Is he going to make a move here? JP goes defensive. Oh, just the difference in confidence. JP ducks into the pits as well, so didn't put up much of a fight at all. He probably did that on purpose. Right, let's see. What's Joe doing? He's just chilling. He's just chilling behind BR4 right now. He's not in a rush. He's definitely playing strategy here because he could be battling all day long with BR4. Probably losing time to Ishtar and bringing him back into the mix as well, so... We'll get a much better corner there compared to BR4 as well. So anyone close? Yep, JP's come out. No, he's 7 seconds behind Cunningford. They lied to me. Rigo versus Alu. So Alu has just pit for the hard, so as CI was the one that was on the grass just then, giving them both a free place. So he's having to be a bit ginger here. Because Alu's tyres. This is another feature for the game. Once you pit, your tyres aren't perfect like they... Oh, he goes very wide. Like in the previous game, you can't just go flat out. You need to make sure you get your tyres up to speed. Which, again, is good. It's another realistic addition to the game. What's Joe doing? He's 3/10 behind now. Oh, BR4's blinked first. He's going to get quite a big undercut here, I'd imagine. But Joe will have pace advantage. Let's see if Joe actually uses all of his ERS on his in-lap. Well, he's using it for the first time. Oh, just a little bit. Never mind. I thought he was going to go crazy with the ERS there, but no, just 1 second's worth of squeezing it. So what I expect to happen here is to Joe to pit either this lap or next lap. BR4, unless he gets some traffic, should come out comfortably ahead. But he's gone on the hards. He did say in the chat he was going to go on the hards, and everyone was looking at him a bit skeptical, but a few of them have done the same. Alu's done the same, Luke's done the same, and Joker has done the same. So we're not going to get any soft tyre times from Joker. But I think his pace has been evident from what we can see, and he's made a few mistakes, unfortunately, so that'll help the powers that be decide which tier he belongs in. So he's actually falling back from Basket, who's on 6-lap-old mediums. So maybe Joe will be able to get an overcut on him, which would completely change strategies if this game actually favours an overcut a little bit more than an undercut. That is a lapped Joker. So let's join Joe. Is he going to go into the pits? He is. Right, let's go back to BR4. And we can see exactly where Joe comes out compared to him. He's caught up a lot, actually, to Basket. He was 2.2 behind, I think, and now he's less than a second behind, which means Basket will probably stay out here, and BR4 will get DRS, which will help him in his battle against Joe. So let's see. He's going to get held up here, though. And where's Joe? Not far behind. He is 1.2, so he's not going to get DRS this time, but BR4's got to probably use a lot of his to actually overtake Basket here, which isn't going to help him out later in the race, as long as Joe manages his ERS a little bit better. So he's already down to 43 there. Joe's on 60. So a 20% ERS difference at this stage of the race between Tier 1 drivers can potentially be race-changing. Jacko's in first, as I predicted he would be, starting on the mediums. I'm expecting him to go a bit longer and then go on soft, so at least we'll get... Oh, Joe... Oh no, that was Basket who made the mistake. I was going to say that was an uncharacteristic error for Joe. But it wasn't Joe. Let's join Basket, because now Joe has a problem of trying to get round a driver who started on the wrong tyres and is interfering with the outcome of the race. He's 3/10 behind here. Let's see.
On it.
Okay, Siri, shut up. I'm not talking to you. Right, sorry about that. I was trying to sort out Siri, who was talking to me. And Joe managed to get past Basket, but he's now 1.7 seconds behind. When he came out the pits, he was 1.2. So, not the best bit of traffic. So we'll see. BR4's got an opportunity now, but he doesn't have the tyre advantage to Play smart, stay out of DRS range. Joe's using his ERS to try and catch up. He won't get it this lap. But that is definitely the right part of the track to use your ERS if you just want to use it conservatively. Beginning of the straight, run down to Eau Rouge. It's flat out anyway. And you get the benefit. Ishtar is the next person to pass Basket. Much more easier than what Joe managed because of the part of the track he caught him up on. And now, Ish isn't out of the battle, I wouldn't say. 1.5 behind Joe, who's 1.1 behind BR4, catching every lap. BR4 might actually drop to third before his tyres start giving him any benefit towards the end of the race. We've got Abmo as the last soft runner before he pits. He's probably going to pit this lap. So, Joe's pace on the mediums. This is giving me... Right, I'm definitely not using hards in my evaluation race. Look how quickly he's managed to... That's like, what, half a lap? 3/4 of a lap? He's managed to shave over a second off BR4's time. Bear in mind, they are very similarly paced drivers, so this is all about the tyre difference. Joe's going to be passed in easy, no problem. Maybe he'll try and do it before turn 1. I wouldn't, because then BR4 would be able to come back. Is he going to do it? He looks like... No. Good. Very clever driving. Now this will probably be the easiest overtake you see, and it's basically the overtake for the lead. Yeah, straightforward. Done and dusted before the corner. So now, what the strategy is going to change to for BR4 is staying within 1 second, which, as I said that single sentence, he's pretty much out of 1 second. Oh, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. At this stage of the race, we really have to see what tyre degradation's like later in the race to see if these tyres come back to BR4, but at the moment they are just not working. At this rate, he'll be down to behind Ishtar before too long. Give it a couple of laps. How the turntables. Yes, how the turntables. Oh, I heard a clatter. Was that Joe? He's lost a bit of time at BR4 there. I heard a bit of a clatter, which probably would have destroyed a car if it wasn't no damage for the evaluation race. Let's see, is there any other battles? No. Yeah, Joe definitely made a mistake because BR4 is going to get DRS here. Is he? Did he actually? He must have, yeah. He might not here though. Joe's using ERS here to get himself back out of trouble, yeah. And that is the benefit of saving your ERS, because when you do make a mistake, you can rectify it by blasting your way up the straight. Oh no, he does have ERS. Okay, I take that back. But he's still over a second behind. He's got no ERS left, so the tools at BR4's disposal are his own skill. He has nothing else. He hasn't got tyres. He hasn't got ERS. He hasn't got DRS. He just has to do it through his own skill, or hoping that Joe makes another mistake. Having said that, Ishtar's been around 2 seconds behind BR4 this entire time, so maybe he's having a bit of trouble on these mediums. Maybe he hasn't practiced so much with the mediums as he has with the softs. I don't know. Or maybe he's trying to conserve because, like I said, tyre deg is a bit different on this game. Right, Luke and Italiano look like they're the closest drivers on track at the moment, so let's follow them for a bit. Battle for P9. And as I say that, Italiano's driving away from him. Recovery drive after a spin. Italiano's back in 9th place after everyone's done their pits. Next up is Basket, who was in the same tier as him. And he should have a good pace advantage. I would predict Italiano would be within DRS by the end of the lap. He's running low on ERS though. How's Basket doing? Over 50%. So Basket will be able to defend for maybe a couple of straights, and then he'd probably run out of ERS, given the tyre difference. But the question is, for Basket, is it even worth fighting? It depends what kind of racer you are. Are you playing the long game? Or are you fighting tooth and nail for every single position? Basket's not using any ERS here though, so... If Italiano wants to get back through the field, he needs to overtake a hard runner pretty quickly. Ooh, does he get the move done before the corner? Yes, he does. So now he's got 2 seconds to catch our new guy, Hallinan. Hallinan? Hallinan? I don't know. Hallinan? Joe, meanwhile, has caught up to Jacko, who still hasn't pitted. The last person who hasn't pitted. As we have JP in the gravel bad looks of things. Yeah. Oh, and Joker's DNF'd. I totally missed that. How do you DNF a race where there's no damage? Okay. Jacko makes it easy for Joe. Gives him DRS and pits. So BR4 is now 2.1 behind. How far behind is this, Joe? Still 2 seconds behind. Meanwhile, Reaper's fallen a fair way behind, but he's still in P4, which I think he should be pretty pleased with himself about. I'm not sure if he's made any mistakes, but he's 8 seconds behind 3 Tier 1 drivers. And ahead of another Tier 1 driver. And ahead of a bunch of Tier 2 and Tier 3 drivers. So methinks he'll be in a high tier. Oh! Battle out the pits between the Mercedes. Jacko's gonna make mincemeat of him here. Oh no! No, he won't. Alu's got DRS here. This is gonna frustrate Jacko for probably a lap, because Alu is not the type to give up a position willingly. He's a tooth of the nail driver, let's call him that. What's Rigo doing? He's caught all the way up to Hallinan here. Let's see if he could make a bit of any unorthodox overtaking move in the middle section of the track. He's a bit of a more, I would say, a bit more risky with his overtaking moves compared to Jacko. Jacko will wait for a straight, so we don't have to follow him so much. Let's join Jacko again. They're on the back straight now. Not really a straight. Will he try the overtaking to bus stop? He definitely should. He's got such a tyre advantage. But no, like I said, he's quite conservative with his overtaking. Meanwhile... Oh... Hallinan has absolutely no ERS. Gets a little bit of a bump from Italiano Rigo. Keeps the position. Oh no, he nearly lost it again, but Rigo managed to keep it. Right, let's follow Jacko again up Eau Rouge. Now this is going to be a bread and butter overtake. I said the other one was the easiest, but this is going to be equally as easy. Yeah, done way before the corner. No ERS needed because of the tyre advantage. What about Hallinan and Rigo? Rigo hasn't managed to catch up yet. He does have a third of his ERS. It's going to be one of those. Can he overtake in the middle of the racetrack. He did try it, but Hallinen's proving to be quite a good defensive driver, which is good to see. Good little racer we've got joining our league. BR4 is now 2.6 behind Joe with 8 laps to go. So it'll be interesting. I'm going to keep an eye on that to see when the tables turn and the hards start coming into their own, because pretty much the same number of laps old, but still a little bit of a disadvantage for BR4. Oh, what's happened to Basket? Oh. What are you doing? That's not how... Is he beached? Is he beached? I did hear that this could happen. Oh, mate, just reset to track. Oh, he's disqualified. Oh, and in that, I missed Italiano getting past Hallinan. Oh, no. Fuck's sake. Oop, shouldn't be swearing on YouTube. Alu is still within a second of Jacko. That's quite decent. Look at that. Nine lap old hards. He's still within a second. Is Hallinan going to be able to do anything to get back? He's going to get ERS, but I'll just keep him a little bit closer. He's already a second behind. Well, I didn't expect a disqualification for your car being beached. I didn't have that on my bingo card for tonight, boys. Right, so Rigo now has 12.4 seconds between himself and Alu Palu, Tier 1 driver. If he could catch Alu between now and the end of the race, that would be impressive. That would redeem him from spin after spin in this race, which I seem to have caught every single one on stream. Sorry, mate. Well, he's catching up quite handily. He's already down into the, well, less than 12 seconds. Bear in mind that Alu's just following Jacko, who's on fresh softs as well. BR4's lost another second to Joe, so definitely not the crossover point for the tyres. Unless BR4's made a mistake. But Ishtar, let's follow Ishtar for a little bit. Oh, what happened? Oh, Reaper, mate, no! Oh. This is not how you rejoin the track. Well, free place for Italiano. Oh, it was going so well, man. Right, let's do what I was going to do. Rejoin Ishtar. For some reason. What the hell? Okay, it was showing a Mercedes, but I was definitely on Ishtar. Right, who's spun now? A Mercedes. Oh, Alu! You know what I said about Italiano catching 12 seconds to Alu? What's it going to come up with now? 2.4 seconds! Oh, what a goat lap from Rigo. He's caught up 10 seconds in 2 corners. Right, it's probably worth sticking with Italiano because Alu's got a tyre disadvantage and his tyres are probably going to be overheated right now from that spin. So he's going to have to be pretty careful these next few corners. BR4 should definitely come back at Joe. He should, but the question is when, and will it be enough? Because I can guarantee you Joe's saving his ERS. BR4's probably saving his ERS right now as well. But we'll stick with the Rigo battle, because he is the one that is making the progress up the field. Yeah, bit of ERS to keep within a second there. Get your DRS on the pit straight. Now, how much does Alu have? So they got the same amount of ERS, but a little bit more for Rigo. He could get the overtake here, done here. if he wants to. Well, he is using the ERS. He's going for it. Less than 4/10. Takes Eau Rouge and Radion pretty well. Yeah, easy. And that is P5 for Rigo. Very nice recovery drive. Now, his next job, I'm going to repeat this as well, as JP retires. I guess he's had enough. 17 seconds between Rigo and Jacko. Now, if he could do that, put him in Tier 1. If he could do that, he'd put him in Tier 1. Right, it's just fallen back behind BR4 a little bit. And BR4's gained 2/10 on Joe. He needs to be gaining a little bit more than that. 5 laps left, so... over half a second a lap he needs to be gaining on Joe to be able to get himself into DRS. Basically, what he needs is, by the time he goes over into Eau Rouge on the final lap, he needs to be within half a second. If he does that, he'll win the race. But can he do it? That's the question. What's Alu up to? He's fallen back a little bit. Reaper manages to put a little bit of space between himself and Hallinan, which I think shows the pace difference between the two, because there was about a second after Reaper's spin. And after Alu's spin, it puts them pretty close together, so it'll be good to see if Reaper can catch and overtake last season's Tier 1 Constructors Champion. Mediums will be 90% done by the end. I would say in the 70s. If they were in the 90s, they will be getting punctures, definitely. Let's have a quick look at what the fastest laps are, actually. Penalties, stops, position change. Actually, let's look at position change. So Hallinan's made the most progress, which I don't think he's made a spin. I think a lot of people have made spins and made mistakes, but I don't think he has. He's just been consistent, which is what you like to see. Joe up 2. Jacko up 2, but he's 19 seconds behind. He's not showing as much pace on the softs as I expected, to be honest. Stops, tyres, penalties. So 3 seconds for Jacko, Alu, Reaper, Hallinan, and BR4 now. So that GG, Joe. you're extending your lead, and he's got 3 seconds. So that basically promotes Ishtar into second. Abmo is going to overtake Luke as things stand. Let's have a look. Is there anything else? Gaps to leader. Let's see what the fastest laps are. Rigo's got the fastest lap. Oh, interesting. So he's definitely got the pace. It makes you wonder, if he didn't spin so much in qualifying, would he have been in the mix with these Tier 1 drivers? I'm going to say potentially. Only him and Joe are in the 46s. Everyone else is in the 47s. Understandable for BR4. He's on the hards. Right, let's go back to interval. What's happening with Rigo? Oh, come on, man. I spoke too soon. I think I must... Am I jinxing him? Should I just ignore him for the rest of the race and see what he does? Reaper, meanwhile, is caught right up to Alu, so let's join this battle for a bit. Oh man, he's not going to want to watch this stream back, Rigo. I've caught every mistake of his. Now, another question is, will BR4 be able to hang on to second? He's got to find basically a 10th in a period of the race where his tyres are coming into their own, so I think he will. He's just gone above 3 seconds actually now. Right, let's stick with this until Eau Rouge, and then I've got to do something really boring and get all the lap times for admin purpose. Oh, Alu spat out the last corner. He's lost. Is Rigo going to get him as well? Well, Rigo's within a second, but Alu's also within a second. Right, I'll stick with this battle until after Eau Rouge. It's Radion, actually. See the sparks there. Very satisfying. So, will anything happen? No, no one's using the ARS. So probably not another position change on track. Unless there's a spin for another lap. So that gives me a good bit of time to look at the race director. Well, there we go. Okay. Okay, now that that's done, let's rejoin this battle. So, three-way fight for P5 between some drivers that have all had their fair share of spins. I think they've all spun at least twice. They all should be ahead of Jacko on pace. I don't think Jacko's spun, but he's like 23 seconds behind. Look how close they are. Reaper is a massive risk here of being overtaken by both of them. I mean, Rigo's just swooped around the outside there. I don't know what happened to Alu. What's happened to him? Why is he going so slow? What the... Well, he's losing loads of time. Let's stick with these two. And keep an eye on Alu's interval. I have no idea what happened there. He must have made some sort of mistake. Lifted off the throttle. Applied the brakes. Probably applied the brakes. Because they were too close. So Rigo, despite his spin, has managed to find his way back up to P5. 9 seconds behind Jacko. So Jacko must have made a mistake because he was, I think, 16 before the spin. Let's join Joe. It looks like we are on the final lap and there's not too much else to look at the moment in terms of battles. Let's ride on board. He's managed to keep a solid 3-second lead above BR4 as well. Yeah, you can tell just how much more gingerly you take the corners at the end of the race, especially on incredibly warm mediums. I wish I could see how warm they were. He's clearly managed it very well. BR4's under 3 seconds for the first time in a long time. But too little too late, unfortunately. So we round the final straight for the final time. The highest ranked driver in ALR rankings is set to take the win. Unless he does something in this final corner. It's happened before. Not with Joe though. And there you have it. Your winner of the evaluation race A on this Thursday night is Joe. BR4 gets second. Ishtar is in the pits for some reason. Not quite sure why. But he'll still probably get P3 because of how far... Yep, there's P3. He just wanted to be different. He probably wanted to let BR4 keep his P2. I didn't see what the difference in time was. Jacko will cross the line in P4 unless he's managed to get an ungodly amount of penalties. The top three were just so far ahead of everyone else. Rigo, P5. Reaper, what's he doing? I don't know what happened with Reaper and Alu. Did they run out of gas? Because Luke's just managed to get P7 and they were crawling over the line and they were just a second or two behind Rigo. And they ended 7.9. Oh man. Hallinan gets P9 anyway. Very impressive for a debut, beating a bunch of seasoned drivers. Abmo P10, he had to stop twice because he started on the wrong tyres. So take 20 odd seconds off and he'd be right in the mix probably with Reaper and Rigo. I couldn't catch the rest of them. Hey, I got a trophy. I don't know how Joe made that strat work. Going easy on the tyres mainly. Stretching the softs out as long as possible. But that's what Tier 1's all about. Last season, Tier 1 made every single track work soft to medium or medium to soft. It's just how these drivers, with the way that they set their cars up, is to extract as much tyre life as possible out of it. So very good, well-deserved win for Joe. Top three drivers on the podium were 3 of the 4 Tier 1 drivers. So not the biggest shock. There wasn't too many shocks actually. The biggest shock for me was Hallinan, who drove very competently for a brand new driver, and Reaper, who showed a lot of pace to really mix it. I mean, he was mixing it with Tier 1 drivers, so he couldn't do that in the last game. So it just goes to show how a new game can really change things up. But no doubt other lobbies will have seen different orders compared to this one. We've just got very consistent drivers here. So let's go all the way down. Actually, two DNFs. Basket was disqualified because he beached the car somehow. CI was a lap down. Cunningfern was really far away, but everyone else was quite in the mix. So Avmo had to stop twice. He was the only driver to stop twice. So if you took 20 seconds off that, he'd be above Reaper. He'd be near Italiano. So he must have driven pretty consistently to get that. But again, he didn't have too many people to fight against because he had to pit, unfortunately. Unlike the others who were battling all race. So that's it for me. I hope that was fun. It looked pretty enjoyable to watch from my end anyway. And I will... The next race, I'm commentating, it will be on Tuesday. It's a social race with Miami, where we're trying out a few different settings to see if they work before we implement the final rules for the new season. One of them is reduced safety car, because there was a bit of a mess on the safety cars that we had in... what was it? The battle of the blast from the past race. There was some really strange glitches in the safety cars, so we might see if we want to reduce them. But we'll see. We'll see how Miami goes. It's obviously a race where safety cars probability would be quite high anyway, so we'll no doubt see the safety car once or twice. But yeah, that's it for me. See you next time.